name is Rebecca Mink, and I started making vegan shoes 23 years ago. And the reason I did that is because I was buying vegan shoes for top celebrities as a stylist. And I couldn't find anything that was ready for the red carpet or something special. And so I wanted to create something that was very unique. And I created these vegan shoes, and one of the biggest problems was figuring out what to replace leather with. So I really had a problem finding something that was sustainable, material that was really going to be available, and something that was really unique. And so I was on the hunt to find the best materials. So to explain a little bit about my work is really a long story, so I'll try to make it really quick. The journey of what I've been up to is really quite exciting, because making shoes is a very particular process. So the first thing that happened when I decided to make vegan shoes in Italy was that I had to find a way to make shoes that were actually going to be created out of vegan materials. Shoes are made in up to 30 different factories and have 60 different pieces. And I had to figure out a way to make each and every piece sustainable and vegan. And then there was, all the particulars with the machinery. So wrapping a heel is very complicated with a lot of pressure, torque, and heat. And you can imagine mounting a heel to a sole is another whole, thing that a machine is doing with the actual machine being made for leather. So it's shredding most materials. So we were trying to figure out throughout all these years what would be the right material, and a lot of them were just plastic. So we were always on the hunt for that. And we also, during those years, we started making shoes for Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Lopez, Madonna, Natalie Portman, Rooney Mara, some really awesome celebrities. And so we were testing these materials throughout that time in our factory. So Mink actually part owns a factory that is in Montevarchi, and that factory makes the brands such as Christian Louboutin, Chanel, Jimmy Choo, Dolce & Gabbana, and Gucci. So we had this testing ground of these amazing celebrities and brands, and we were building up to this moment when we met Coca. The idea of what we're doing really came from the need, and it's not just us that has a need. While we're very particular, because we have been making shoes for 23 years, so we've been in a position where we've been needing this material, right? So we're coming from the other angle. So it's really quite different than many other people that are making materials today. So one of the things, for example, that we did is we took Roberto and his team down to our shoe factory in Montevarchi and really had conversations about, well, how is this material going to work? So we weren't in the woods, we're actually starting from a place where we're making a material that lasts and something that actually will work in production. So when you make a beautiful shoe, you can make a beautiful shoe, but you have to make sure that you're going to be able to produce it in volume. So making a material and producing it in volume is something quite complicated. And we're not the only ones looking for this. There's very large brands that are involved with materials and looking at new innovative ways to stop using leather and stop using plastic. So we're right on the cutting edge. So how did this meeting happen? It's really a journey previous that I must explain. I was talking about how we couldn't find these materials. Well, one of the things that we did, because we couldn't find these materials, is I looked into making my own materials. Now this was previous to, actually writing a patent and working with, what you guys were up to here. But what we were doing is trying to just make materials that were out of recycled plastic bottles, making materials out of different papers, recycled, and working with these textile mills to create really unusual and unique materials. So yes, we weren't inventing anything. So we wanted to go further. We wanted to create something that had never been done with Mink. So what we did is we took the next level and we we really are committed to having 100% Italian-made shoe. Our shoes are 100% made in Italy, and we wanted our materials to be Italian. I mean, one of the things that I always say is that the product is so perfect here that why would you go anywhere else, right? I mean, the Italians do it best. So we started looking into different opportunities, and we thought about looking into universities. So we actually wrote a letter to Bicocca University, like old school style, and I think the letter made it to the office. Then the letter went to Roberto's office, and they started saying, hey, I think there's something here. And that's how our relationship was born. So we haven't worked with any other university, and why would we when we've been at Bicocca University? The best in the world here, really. I always say that Roberto is the Leonardo of materials, and I always say that this team, is so great. Michele is just really right there and, so on top of what we're up to. And then there's Julia, who has been working so hard, and all of them from Bicocca. Julia's in the lab, getting her hands on peeling kiwis and making things happen, and Michele's like just the best at really keeping everything, I always say like crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And then Roberto is just really the one that came up with this whole idea, because he has been looking at coming from a world of studying plastics, right? And so when he's trying to make something that's not plastic, that's plastic, this is a genius, right? So we're working with someone that has been studying this and working on this for a very long time. I had been studying and what I had been working on for a very long time. So I had 20 years behind me, he had 20 years behind him. And we came together, and this was like a really perfect match. So what he was up to was really great things, and Bicocca University is our home, and our family is here, and we're really, really happy to grow and make this into something really, really big. So the future holds a lot for us, and that is because we are beginning this journey here in Italy, because like I said, this is where the best is of the world, and we're putting together this project here. We're working with the best textile mills and factories in the world to partner with them to produce our products and grow this into something that is really a big project with the entire materials industry, not just the university, so that they can have a relationship and spread that. And also, after we've completed the full execution of this and we see it working as we know it will, we will be able to take this project to a much bigger level, where we'll be able to implement this in the United States, South America, in Europe, in UK, and other countries, so that we can take their waste. Because one thing to remember is we're not using animals, we're not using any plastics, but guess what? We're also upcycling bio waste, agri-waste, that is actually an organic material that is releasing carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide is eliminated by us taking all of this waste. And where are we getting this waste? This waste is from agricultural fields themselves. So there's bruised or problems with maybe some of those fruits or vegetables. We can use those. It's valuable material. Then we're also looking at the food production. So if you're ever juiced, you see how much is left over. All of that waste is very valuable. But then getting from one to the other, there's transportation. So the distribution of the goods, also there's a lot of waste. In the United States alone, 50% of the food that is grown is wasted. So we're ready there to take care of that. So there's a huge future for us, and I'm so excited to be working with Bicocca.
Thank you.
Sono Roberto Simonutti e sono professore di chimica industriale qui al Dipartimento di Scienza dei Materiali in Bicocca. Mi occupo di polimeri e materie plastiche da più di 20 anni e negli ultimi 4-5 anni mi sono dedicato al problema della sostenibilità delle materie plastiche. Come si sa, gran parte delle materie plastiche vengono dal petrolio e quindi da fonte fossile non rinnovabile. E quindi c'è una grossa necessità di sviluppare materiali che invece siano rinnovabili, che possano venire da fonti vegetali, e mi sono occupato appunto come ricerca scientifica di questo settore negli ultimi 4-5 anni. Il Dipartimento di Scienze dei Materiali ha uno sportello di supporto alle aziende, in cui le aziende possono proporre temi di ricerca. Quindi la ditta Mink Shoes ha contattato lo sportello chiedendo un supporto per lo sviluppo di un cuoio vegetale. E quando appunto mi è stato proposto dallo sportello questo tipo di attività, ho pensato che fosse ideale e si combinasse idealmente con le mie attività di ricerca. Io mi sono sempre occupato di sviluppo di materiali vegetali per il packaging alimentare, quindi per sostituire le pellicole di polietilene, di PVC nel confezionamento degli cibi, ma effettivamente nel momento che mi è stato proposto questa tematica ho detto perché no, se possiamo fare i film per il packaging a maggior ragione possiamo fare il cuoio vegetale, e da lì è nata la collaborazione con Mink. La nascita di un materiale, come avviene la nascita di un materiale? Sicuramente la prima parte fondamentale è lo studio e la caratterizzazione. Il mio gruppo di ricerca si fonda sulla caratterizzazione, utilizziamo molte tecniche estremamente sofisticate per capire a livello molecolare la struttura di un materiale. Quindi abbiamo approfondito negli anni quali sono le richieste strutturali, molecolari per avere un materiale. Quindi da quello poi si può costruire un nuovo materiale. Quindi la prima cosa è capire la struttura fine di un materiale per poi replicarlo. Infatti uno dei concetti più importanti nella ricerca dei materiali è la cosiddetta biomimetica, cioè si cerca di replicare qualcosa che esiste già in natura. E per esempio il cuoio, in cui abbiamo visto che per esempio una delle parti più importanti è la reticolazione, il materiale, le cellule, la cheratina che costituisce il cuoio viene reticolato e si crea una struttura che sostiene e dà coesione al materiale. Quindi abbiamo voluto replicare la stessa chimica, o comunque una chimica simile, in ambito vegetale. Sì, chiaramente il nostro obiettivo è quello del trasferimento tecnologico. Noi vogliamo sviluppare un'idea, far nascere un materiale, ma poi questo materiale deve crescere, e per crescere un materiale deve crescere in dimensioni e in quantità. Quindi dobbiamo sviluppare dei laboratori pilota, che appunto è un po' l'obiettivo del prossimo passaggio del progetto, quindi produrre in grandi quantità questo materiale per poi darlo alle varie aziende che lo trasformano per produrre dei prototipi di scarpa da proporre poi alle grandi aziende internazionali come nuovo materiale appunto utilizzabile e industrializzabile. Il nostro obiettivo è che il materiale abbia la possibilità di essere scalato a livello industriale, perché finché rimane a livello di laboratorio chiaramente può essere una bella idea ma non ha storia.
Fantastico, grazie Roberto, grazie infinito.